Hey guys, Danny Johnson here, and today in this video we're going to show you how to remove a lot of the clips and hoses and clamps that are on these GM vehicles. And so we'll just get started here. One of the first and easiest is the worm clamp. This is usually with a flat head screwdriver or even a 7 or 8 millimeter socket will fit on the front of that, and it just loosens that band. Many of the hoses can be pushed in on this gray tab, and as you push on the tab it will allow it to unlock and then it slides off. They just pop back on in reverse. For the ignition coils, you will lift up on the red tab and then pinch and pull these ones off. So there's a lot of similar tabs like that on the vehicle. So again, just lift up to unlock it and then pinch it, and it would be reverse order to put it back on. The mass airflow meter is the same kind of clip here with a lock. There's a lot of these zip ties, and instead of breaking them, you can just get pliers under here and pry up under them. And that's a good way to remove these, and they usually will go back down in. I'll call these Christmas tree clips a lot in my videos. So anyway, you just kind of get some pliers behind them to pry them out, and then they can pop back into place most of the time. Now some of these are really bad, like on the back of this cover. They are in there so tight that you almost need to take out the intake manifold first and then try to get these clips off when it's just the cover. So you'll see that in some of the video. And check the video description. I'll have a lot of the videos that you'll see here where these are coming from. Another throttle body clip, just like the ignition coil. Unlock it, pinch down, help with the screwdriver to get that one off. For the alternator, it's just a pinch tab. And some of these take a little bit of work, but here's another vacuum hose one here that you just pinch on that gray tab. Here's another one where the lock comes out from the side. So you're going to go ahead and unlock that one, then you just pinch it on the back and then pull that one off. On this one it's hard to see, so I actually took the bolt out to turn this over. Sometimes you have to do that to get a good look at it, but on this one it's just a gray tab, and you just unlock it by pushing it down, and now that it's unlocked you can pinch on it and remove it. It'll slide right off. Some of these other ones, another Christmas tree type ones to pull out. On the radiator fan, you'll push down on this tab and wiggle this one. The one that tricks you on this one is the other plug is the exact one, but it's on backwards, so it's blind. You won't see it. You have to reach around and feel it, so luckily one side you can see. More Christmas tree tabs again for the radiator fan that you can just pop out with the pliers, and then they typically go back in okay. And the transmission cooler lines also have those going into the radiator. For these hose clamps, if you actually pinch them, they will lock, and then you can slide them, and then unlocking them is the key without pinching your fingers. For the coolant hoses here, these ones you just pinch on both ends, and a technique for this one is to put a zip tie around the very end of the tab, and as you tighten that one down you can really pop these ones off. So that's a helpful one, because pinching them and pulling on that hose can be challenging. More of the clamps here, you see you just clamp it with the pliers and walk it off, and that's for a lot of the hoses. Now there's also a lock here on this coolant temperature sensor, and it pulls up, and sometimes like this it breaks off, so when you're done you can just put it back into place, then it just pinches off there. Here's the oil pressure sensor. It was another blind one that's down there. You unlock that one with the tab on the bottom, and then pinch it and slide that one off. Next to it, this one is for the DOD and AFM, and so you just do the same thing, unlock that one, then pinch it, and it will come off. More Christmas tree tabs. For the coil packs, you just pull down on that one, and you pull these ones off, but they can be on there pretty firm, and that goes on the spark plug. For the plastic covers, a lot of them just pull straight up, so on this one you just pull up on it till it pops off of the little ball. There's a stud that looks like one of the valve cover bolts, and it just has the little nub on the back of it, so you just pull these off. And again, here's another vacuum line. We went over this one already, but basically on the gray tabs you just pinch them and it will slide the line right off. So here's another look at that. Just pinch on that one, pop it off. For the back of the high pressure fuel pump, this one was another blind one. It's behind the back so you can't really see it. but you're just pinching on the back of this one and it comes off pretty easy. Something I'll also do is spray a little bit of Windex on these, and that kind of lubes these up a little bit, especially on these ones. So there's an unlock here for the fuel rails, and then you can see even pinching it, these are stuck pretty good, putting a screwdriver on it. And so just bringing in a little bit of Windex and spraying it where it attaches can lubricate it. Of course, you don't want these too wet and you want to clean them up when you're done, but that helps these slide right off. There's a clip on the fuel rail, and that one you just put a screwdriver under it to pop it off. And we're going to take our 3/8 inch fuel disconnect tool and we'll show you how this works.
Push forward on the line, push in. There. Okay, there's no pressure, so we're okay. So let's just show that again too. So go around the line, forward on the line, in with the tool, slide it off.
Took the cap off and put the line back on. This one was nice, it just pushes into place so you'll hear it click. Pull back on it just to make sure that it's on there snug. And we're going to go ahead and put the retainer clip on here. For the cooler lines that go into the radiator, you'll get a pick and you'll pry out one end of this little clamp here, and then on the other end you'll just walk it around. Sometimes you can grab pliers and just pull it around, but you'll take a look at what this clip looks like. It's just a little, almost looks like a little pumpkin here. And so once those are removed, you just pull the lines out, and so they're really easy to get out after that. So you'll see the transmission fluid that you'll lose as you're doing this. And then to get these back in, they're a little tricky. You got to put them in the channel, then grab a pair of pliers to pull them around to get them back up and around, but then they pop back into place. And you want to tug on the line, make sure it doesn't come off. Here's a vacuum hose for the vacuum pump. So on this one, this is actually a pretty easy clip. You just got to separate it on each side there and then pull it down. And so then you can slide that off of the vacuum line there. And so putting it back on is just the opposite. And this goes on really easy, but it is a hard line, so you don't want to crack it. You want to be careful with it. So all you do is slide it back into place and then push up on the lock. Got more Christmas tree stuff here too. That's everywhere on these. And then there's little buttons on these that are like the Christmas tree tabs. So those, again, just get pliers or a screwdriver behind it, and then you can pry those off. One other I'll show you here is on the timing chain. If you push on the back side of the timing chain, you'll see the tensioner line up here, and then you just put an Allen key through it once you push on that. It's a two-person job pretty much. So once you have enough pressure on it, you can slide the Allen key right in, and that's when you want to be really careful that you don't snap. Anyway, hopefully you enjoyed the video. Check the video description where I have where all these videos came from and a whole playlist on the Yukon and the GM vehicles. If you're new to the channel, feel free to subscribe. Thanks, guys.